Brian from RC Workboat Haven. In this video, I'd like to take you on a tour of the Great Lakes lumber hooker. We'll go over the deck, we'll disassemble this ship, and take a look down below. Thanks for watching. This RC lumber hooker is 34 inches long on deck, 11 inches beam, and 4 inches draft. It is approximately 1/2 inch to the foot in scale. These ships were common on the Great Lakes in the 1890s. The hooker could carry a load of cargo, such as wood boards and so on, but because it was steam powered, it could also tow barges and schooners. And this is where the name hooker comes in. It would hook other craft and tow them behind in towards locks or in calm weather or up against current in rivers. Many lake vessels of this era had a bowsprit-like projection up forward, and this helped the helmsman get a line on the forward direction of the ship. And this is in an era before electronics and GPS. Up forward, we have an anchor on a davit, navigation lights, a spotlight, and a horn. They're all located on top of the pilot house. There's access to the pilot house through a door in the rear of the structure. The hinges are made of wire twisted over. The roof is secured with a rubber band, and the wires from these lights run down into the deck beneath the pilot house. Everything is removable. This anchor davit comes out. The chain plates are through bolted on the hull. All the turnbuckles are removable. All of these fixtures here are all secured with little 3mm nuts and bolts. Pilot house is secured from the underneath with screws. Everything can be disassembled. This section of railing here is made with skewers, and there is an intermediate run of copper wire. The 4 ladders on this model are removable, and they're held on with small cotter pins here. The ladder fits into 2 small holes down in the base, and the cotter pin just fits in like this. Up forward in the hooker, we have a door leading in to the captain's cabin, which is located in this section here. He has 2 little windows so he can monitor what's going on the deck. Captain also has control over the electric lighting system, and there is a switch in here that he can throw and turn on the navigation lights. Here she is, cruising through the dark, rocky inlets of Georgian Bay. We've got double blocks and single blocks, sheaves inside the blocks that turn easily. I've done a recent video on how to construct these blocks yourself. A semicircle ring holds the belaying pins, and the mast can be removed from the hole down at the base. The mast and rigging can all be removed easily from this ship. Up top aft, we've got a smokestack. These vents are also screwed from the underneath. I've got a ladder here aft that pulls right out. To the port side, we've got 2 lifeboat davits. This lifeboat measures 7 inches long by 3 1/4 inches wide. In real life, that would measure 14 feet by 6.5 feet beam. All of the running rigging is 2mm cord. These davits are also removable. I've just got the oars wired on here onto a seat. There's 2 sets of oars. There should be room for about 8 people in this lifeboat. So the port side of the cabin here has a door that opens. This is for crew, and there's 2, maybe 3 berths inside. Coming around here is the door to go into the galley. There's a table set up in there. Around the other side, the cook also has a little berth in here. It's a tight one, but just one guy. Further forward, we've got another opening door. In here are 3 more berths for the crew. These small life rings are wired through the cabin side on the top and the bottom. The after mast has a turnbuckle and a piece of standing rigging that's bolted onto the roof of the after cabin. It has the same setup here with removable turnbuckles and so on. There are 2 doors that lead aft. One goes into the engine room, and the other one leads along a gangway to control the tow ropes and so on. These little shutters are closed in foul weather. The rigging is the same on both the forward and after masts and lifting booms here, derricks. There are 3 cotter pins that secure the forward section to the hull. We've got one here, one forward, and one on the starboard side. Aft, there's 2 on the starboard side and 2 on the port side. And they are pulled out like this. The cotter pins are stored in 2 rows at the forward end of the hatch. And now the fore and aft sections of this ship can be removed, rigging and all. The deck can also be removed. It's secured with number 6 wood screws. The deck can then be lifted off. Inside the hull, up forward, we've got 3 pounds of ballast and a 1 pound ballast weight just aft and a bit to starboard. And port and starboard are 2 3,000 milliamp hour NIMH batteries of 7.2 volts. We have a 12 volt DC motor, about 35 turns, and a 540 can size. There's a single motor mount epoxied directly onto the hull. There's a universal joint, a 3mm stainless steel shaft, a shaft tube with a roller bearing in the upper and lower end, and a lubrication hole for the marine grease gun. And this device here is an improvised engine sound generator. And here is the electronic speed control with a built-in cooling fan, a 6-channel receiver, and an on-off switch. These 3 items are located in an electronics pod that can be removed and placed in another boat. There's a geared servo connected to the rudder shaft. The sound generator is activated by this 3mm bolt that hits the underside of a container and causes it to vibrate up and down. The lid on the container comes off, and different items can be placed inside the container, plastic and metal and so on, and these change the tone of the sound of the vibration. The goal, of course, is to simulate the sound of a steam engine room on the hooker. The model can be reassembled in just a few minutes. For normal running down at the lake, only the after section has to be removed. There's good access here for the batteries and electronics. To prepare the boat for a run, just connect one battery to the ESC. Switch on the transmitter, and then turn on the switch in the boat. And there it is, ready to run. place on the after section. And make sure the antenna is coming up through the deck. And then replace the cotter pin hold downs. 2 on each side. And here's the hooker, ready for its next tow. Plenty of noise coming out of that engine room. And down below we've got a big 42 millimeter nylon prop. And a rudder the size of a barn door. So I hope this video gave you a few ideas. I encourage everyone to go their own way as far as design and innovations. That's what the hobby's all about. And I hope this helps you get there. Thanks for watching.